In the landscape of male archetypes, the Sigma male stands apart, not just in behavior, but in something far more fundamental: how his mind actually works. While society often misinterprets his quiet independence as aloofness or social awkwardness, those who look closer discover something remarkable: a distinct cognitive architecture that gives him unique intellectual advantages. Today, we're uncovering the hidden IQ secrets of Sigma males, exploring how their minds are wired differently and why this offers them remarkable advantages in problem-solving, innovation, and understanding complex systems. Number 1. The pattern recognition superpower. If human intelligence can be distilled to one central function, it is pattern recognition, the ability to extract meaning, structure, and predictability from seemingly disconnected information. What sets the Sigma male apart is not merely proficiency in this ability, but a unique configuration of it: a pattern recognition superpower that operates beyond conventional intellectual boundaries. While most people recognize patterns within pre-approved frameworks, comparing like with like, staying safely inside their area of study or expertise, the Sigma male's mind is not constrained by categories. He instinctively crosses mental borders. To him, knowledge is not a set of separate islands. It is a single, vast continent waiting to be mapped. Where others see unrelated disciplines, the Sigma male sees echoes, mirrors, and recurrences. He notices how the feedback loops of biology mimic the boom and bust cycles of global economies. He recognizes how ancient mythological archetypes resurface in modern celebrity culture and social media psychology. He sees how information theory aligns with spirituality, how AI development parallels human consciousness, or how quantum uncertainty reflects human decision-making under pressure. This ability is not random inspiration. It is a systematic cognitive approach woven into how his mind processes reality. His brain does not store information as labeled boxes but as interconnected networks, allowing him to navigate concepts like a web instead of a hierarchy. Where this superpower comes from. 2 core factors make this cross-dimensional perception possible. 1. An insatiable, self-directed curiosity. The Sigma male rarely learns to impress, to compete, or to achieve validation. He learns because he must. A question becomes an itch. A mystery becomes an obsession. He explores philosophy, psychology, science, art, strategy, history, not to master them individually, but to understand how they weave together. This multidirectional curiosity gives him intellectual tools most people never collect. He is not a specialist with a single lens. He is an explorer with an arsenal of lenses, switching perspectives the way a master swordsman switches weapons. 2. Solitude that fuels deep mental integration. The Sigma male's comfort with solitude is not isolation, it is cognitive incubation. While most minds are constantly disrupted by social noise, social duty, and the need to participate, the Sigma male's solitary moments become mental laboratories. Without the pressure to mirror group thinking or protect group belonging, unconventional connections are allowed to form freely. His thoughts can wander without interruption, without judgment, and without the subtle constraint of conformity. Ideas that would be dismissed in social settings have time to develop into coherent insights. Solitude doesn't make his mind quieter, it makes it sharper. Why pattern recognition sets him apart. This kind of pattern recognition does something traditional intelligence often fails to do. It predicts, invents, and reframes. The Sigma male can sense emerging shifts long before others understand them. He can anticipate outcomes because he sees the blueprint forming in the background while others are still focused on individual events. While society reacts to symptoms, he identifies causes. While others ask how to maintain the existing system, he questions whether the system should exist. While most people think in straight lines, he thinks in dynamic networks. This is why others may say Sigma males are mysterious, unpredictable, or ahead of their time. The truth is simpler. They see patterns that others don't even know are there. He doesn't just connect the dots. He redraws the dots, rearranges the grid, and reveals the image that was hidden all along. Number 2. The delayed response advantage. In a fast-paced, instant gratification culture where speed is often celebrated as intelligence, many people are pressured to respond immediately, to prove they know, to prove they're capable, to prove they belong. Quick replies are mistaken for sharp minds, and silence is misread as uncertainty or weakness. Yet the Sigma male operates on a different timeline and follows a different rhythm of thought. He isn't concerned with appearing brilliant in the moment. He is concerned with being correct in the end. This creates what could be called the delayed response advantage, a cognitive strategy rooted in patience, depth, and intellectual humility. When confronted with a complex question, challenge, or decision, the Sigma male's first response is often not a rapid answer, but silence. He may say, "I need to think about that," not as a deflection, but as an invitation to let the problem unfold naturally in his mind. To many, this pause feels unusual, especially in environments where people rush to respond without thinking. But for the Sigma, this stillness is not hesitation, it is calibration. It is the moment where analysis begins, not ends. The Sigma understands something that the modern world often forgets, that complex problems cannot always be solved with immediate cognition. They need incubation time. Ideas must simmer. Assumptions must be examined. The mind must wander through possibilities unrestrained by haste. This delayed processing taps into what neuroscientists describe as the diffuse thinking mode, a state in which the brain, free from rigid focus, begins making subconscious connections, linking distant concepts, and discovering unexpected insights. This is the same mental process responsible for breakthrough inventions, artistic revelations, and sudden clarity that arrives while driving, showering, or seconds before sleep. Most people never unlock this cognitive layer because they never give their brains time to access it. The Sigma male does. He steps back so his mind can step forward. He allows space for ideas to mature instead of forcing premature conclusions. Where others offer fast answers that skim the surface, he offers slow answers that strike at the root. This delayed response advantage reveals itself constantly in life and leadership. In arguments, his silence is misread as surrender, until his eventual reply dismantles the entire premise. In strategy, his patience is mistaken for passivity, until his move shifts the entire dynamic. While others compete to speak first, the Sigma aims to speak last, and only when clarity has been reached. His intelligence is not measured by the speed of reaction, but by the depth of resolution. He is not chasing the appearance of being right. He is pursuing the truth of what is right. And because he refuses to be rushed, cornered, or pressured into shallow thinking, his insights often carry greater weight, greater precision, and greater impact. The Sigma male understands that the mind works best the way nature works best, slowly, quietly, and beneath the surface. Where society rewards the loudest voice in the room, the Sigma invests in the most well-thought-out voice in the conversation. And when he finally speaks, the difference is unmistakable. Number 3. The observational processing power. Human attention is limited, both biologically and psychologically. The average person filters out more than 2/3 of their environment, noticing only what aligns with their desires, fears, insecurities, or preconceived assumptions. They observe, but selectively. They listen, but only to confirm. Their minds operate like a spotlight, narrow, targeted, and often constrained by unconscious biases. The Sigma male's observational processing, however, resembles a wide-angle lens, absorbing multiple layers of information simultaneously. While the typical individual may process roughly 30% of the available cues in a situation, the Sigma male often processes upwards of 80 to 90%, and much of this happens beneath the surface of conscious awareness. His mind silently collects what others overlook: micro-expressions, tone shifts, contradictions in speech, environmental dynamics, group hierarchies, power exchanges, and the emotional weather of the room. This is not effort. It is instinct. His brain quietly builds a multidimensional map of the situation long before others realize there is even something to analyze. He sees patterns forming before they fully emerge. He recognizes motives before they are spoken. He detects deception not through accusation, but through an intuitive awareness of what doesn't align. To the Sigma, information is not just data. It is texture, tone, and trajectory. This observational superpower creates advantages in nearly every arena. In conversations, he knows what's meant beyond what's said. In conflict, he anticipates outcomes 3 moves ahead. In negotiation, he reads the desperation or confidence behind the negotiation, not the words themselves. In relationships, he feels emotional shifts long before they're admitted. In environments, he senses opportunities and threats before others recognize them. But the true distinction isn't just that he notices more, It's that he can process more without drowning in the details. Most people become overwhelmed by too much sensory input. The Sigma remains calm, composed, and cognitively open. His mind sorts, filters, and categorizes information without panic or paralysis. Why? Because he is not performing socially. Cognitive scientists refer to this as reduced cognitive load from social performance. The average person spends a shocking percentage of mental energy managing impressions, crafting responses, protecting ego, and anticipating judgment. They perform, as though every interaction is an audition. Approval is currency. Acceptance is oxygen. The Sigma male rejects this game. He is not mentally multitasking between self-image and reality. He is immersed solely in reality. While others are thinking, what do they think of me? How should I respond? Did I sound smart enough? Funny enough? Confident enough? The Sigma is thinking, what is actually happening beneath the surface? What systems are operating here? What patterns are forming that nobody sees yet? His lack of social dependency becomes a hidden intellectual multiplier. The freedom from validation is not emotional detachment. It is cognitive liberation. While others are dividing their processing power between the environment and their ego, the Sigma channels nearly all of his into interpretation, prediction, and understanding. He is not distracted by the noise of social performance. Therefore, he hears the whispers of truth that others overlook. The world does not reveal itself equally to all minds. Most see the scene. A few hear the dialogue. But the Sigma male, he perceives the entire system, silently unfolding in real time. Number 4. The outside-the-box default setting. Conventional intelligence functions like a well-maintained train system. Useful, structured, predictable. It works within tracks laid out by previous thinkers, institutions, and traditions. Most people navigate life by applying established solutions to recognizable problems, thinking inside disciplinary borders, and relying on methods that have already been proven. Their intelligence is effective, but it is often confined to the mental architecture handed to them. The Sigma male's mind, however, was never built to accept default settings or inherited frameworks. His cognitive process begins where others end, not by asking how to solve a problem, but by questioning the nature, purpose, and assumptions behind the problem itself. His mind operates outside the box because, to him, the box is invisible until he chooses to examine it, question it, or dismantle it. Where most of society asks, what is the solution within this structure? The Sigma male asks, who built this structure, why does it exist, and what if the structure itself is the problem? This is not rebellion. It is not arrogance. It is not a quirky mindset born from contrarian impulses. It is a fundamental cognitive pattern, a neurological inclination toward first principles thinking. Instead of stacking new ideas on outdated foundations, he strips the problem to its core, investigates its raw components, and reconstructs solutions that are fundamentally new rather than superficially improved. Most people fear stepping beyond the familiar. The Sigma male fears being trapped within it. This gives him access to intellectual territory others never approach. While conventional thinkers debate how to improve a broken system, the Sigma quietly sketches the blueprint for an entirely different one. While teams argue about which of the existing rules should apply, he is busy rewriting the rules altogether. This mindset explains why Sigma males often excel in environments that demand paradigm shifts, fields where old systems collapse under the weight of new realities. Disruptive technology, entrepreneurial innovation, psychological and social theory, military strategy, artistic reinvention, spiritual or philosophical frameworks, solving human behavior problems no model yet defines. Where incremental improvements fail, he thrives. Where others say, this is impossible, he asks, impossible by whose standards? Under what assumptions? Using what limitations? Because he never begins at the surface, his conclusions often appear counterintuitive or even strange, until time proves them correct. This is why society often misunderstands Sigma males when they are years ahead of cultural, economic, and technological shifts. To outsiders, he looks unpredictable. To traditional thinkers, he looks unorthodox. To those invested in the status quo, he looks threatening. Number. The emotional detachment that enhances rational processing. Conventional wisdom often frames emotional intelligence and rational intelligence as two separate, even competing, domains. Most people are taught to believe that you're either guided by your heart or guided by your mind. But the Sigma male defies this simplistic binary. He demonstrates something far more nuanced, that appropriate, intentional emotional detachment can significantly enhance the clarity and efficiency of rational processing, especially in situations that demand objectivity. Unlike individuals whose identity depends heavily on being validated, admired, or socially accepted, the Sigma male's sense of self-worth is internally anchored. He doesn't need to be seen as right in order to feel secure. Because of this, he is far more willing and able to abandon a hypothesis or belief the moment compelling evidence contradicts it. There is no ego battle, no fear of embarrassment, no collapse of self-esteem when proven wrong. Instead, he views new information as an opportunity for growth rather than a personal threat. Since he does not seek social approval as his guiding compass, he possesses the rare freedom to follow evidence wherever it leads. This allows him to adopt perspectives, conclusions, or strategies that may be considered unusual, unpopular, or even socially unacceptable. Where others may bend their reasoning to avoid judgment or conflict, the Sigma male stays aligned with logic and truth, regardless of how socially convenient or inconvenient it may be. Another advantage lies in the way he manages his emotional energy. While many people externalize their feelings, through emotional performance, drama, or constant validation seeking, the Sigma male processes his emotions internally. He does not suppress or deny them, but he doesn't broadcast them either. As a result, he frees up an immense amount of cognitive bandwidth that others unconsciously spend on social signaling, managing impressions, or navigating emotional turbulence. This doesn't mean he lacks emotions or empathy. In fact, he often has a refined form of emotional intelligence rooted in self-awareness. Psychologists refer to this as emotion differentiation, the ability to identify, understand, and experience emotions without letting those emotions hijack the decision-making process. Instead of reacting impulsively or defensively, he can examine emotional responses like data, useful, informative, but not authoritative. This skill grants him a remarkable advantage in high-pressure, emotionally charged situations. While others may become clouded by fear, pride, insecurity, or attachment to specific outcomes, the Sigma male remains grounded. His thinking becomes sharper as others' thinking becomes compromised. He can evaluate risks more accurately, foresee consequences more clearly, and make choices that align with long-term strategy instead of short-term emotional gratification. In a world where emotional reactivity often overrides logic, the Sigma male stands out as someone who can feel deeply yet think clearly, someone who respects emotion without allowing it to dominate reason. This balance, rare as it is a key component of his quiet confidence and his unmatched ability to navigate complex social and intellectual landscapes. Final words. At the end of the day, the Sigma male's intelligence isn't about being superior, it's about being different. His mind operates outside the conventional boundaries that shape most people's thinking. Where others see isolated events, he sees systems. Where others chase validation, he follows truth. And where others are swayed by emotion, he remains grounded in clarity. In a world that often celebrates loudness over depth and conformity over originality, the Sigma male stands as a reminder that quiet intelligence is still power. His ability to think independently, analyze without bias, and navigate complexity with composure is not just rare, it's essential. As society grows more complicated and human behavior becomes harder to predict, the Sigma male's unique cognitive style becomes not only valuable, but transformative. Because at its core, Sigma intelligence is not about fitting into the world, it's about understanding it so deeply that you learn how to move through it on your own terms. If you embrace this mindset, you don't just think differently, you rethink what's possible.